Hello folks at home, welcome to Peabody Veterans Memorial High School Fieldhouse. It is Tuesday, the 26th of January 2021 as the Peabody Tanners take on the visiting Danvers Falcons. You don't have to be a die-hard New England sports fan to know that the rivalry between these two teams extends from beyond the parquet floor to the football fields, to the ice hockey rink, and also to the baseball diamond. These two teams go back a long way, bitter rivals. We'll see who will come out on top in this women's basketball tilt. Tanners, I believe, come in at 3-0 on the season. We have the Peabody roster in front of me at the moment. Had the athletic director trying to get my attention up from down on the court to know that our broadcast is ready to go. We are underway. In just a moment, as I was saying before, we do have the Peabody roster in front of me. However, I do not have the Danvers Falcons roster, so you'll have to bear with me. I will be calling out Danvers players by their numbers. We are underway. Peabody playing the edges right off the bat, trying to force inside into the paint. We got a whistle and Danvers ball. Danvers, as opposed to the Tanners, taking their time, moving through. Trying to feed it up high. They can't do so. Still probing the middle, trying to get into the paint, puts it up, and the Falcons dent the board first, 2-0. Here come the Tanners. Taylor Betancourt brings it through, gives on over to Emma Bloom. Bloom gives over to 32 of the Tanners. The roster does not have a 32 listed on it at the moment, so I'll try to figure out who that is during the halftime period. And it is a turnover and Falcons ball. Falcons moving with more of a slower and deliberate pace as opposed to the Tanners, who are going with more of a fast break, trying to tie the game up early. They're down 2-0 with 6:51 to go in the first quarter. High pass over, closest to the Tanner bench. Scrum for the ball. Danvers came away with it, but we got a whistle and a stop. And it will be Tanner ball. So this game being brought to you, streamed live by Peabody TV. We hope the folks at home here in Peabody and the folks out in Danvers are settled in and staying warm as it finally begun to snow. Been forecast all day. Puts it up for two and over. Tanner's fast break, bringing it quickly as Bloom fed it across. Ball went out of bounds, and we will have as Taylor Betancourt will set up and throw this one in. Betancourt gives over Bloom. Bloom feeds it through. Nice pass through to Kirikopoulos. Down to the court goes a Danvers player. 22 of the Falcons took a toss down. 32 of the Tanners will set it up. Looking, gives over. Betancourt. Betancourt hands it on in to Lauren Mendonca. You'll have to bear with me, apologize for any mispronunciations of names. There are one or two names in here that I know for a fact I'm likely going to say wrong, so please don't be afraid to, anyone wants to correct me at any point, send me a message and I'll make sure I'll get those pronunciations correct. Given all over, Falcons moving slowly, but taking their time as they do have the 2-0 advantage over the 3-0 Tanners, who have proven that they can play. Racing quick, here comes Betancourt through center court. Bloom over, 32 for three. Tanners lead by one. Three-pointer by 32 of the Tanners, fast break. Now the Falcons taking their chance inside the paint. Shot goes up and would not go. Shades back, stolen away by the Falcons. Both teams emphasizing a bit of a fast break offense. However, both defenses within the paint are coming through big. Fed up, here it goes for three, and it would not go. Blocked away, 2-on-0 to the basket. Betancourt, can she put it up for two? And she does. 5-2 Tanners, 4:55 remaining in the first quarter. So a low-scoring affair, as opposed to the junior varsity girls game that I caught the tail end of as I arrived at the field house, where the Peabody Tanners won about 46-13 over the Danvers Falcons. Much more of a tight game so far, as stolen away, Kira Copples moves up, Betancourt for two, and she has another. So you'll have to, I apologize, folks. I have announced basketball games before. However, this is only, I think, the third basketball game I've ever announced in my 4 years here at Peabody TV, so a little rusty on some of the terminology. Did try to brush up a little bit, so stick with me. Still a relative rookie at this, more known for my hockey announcing. Speaking of, if you are a Peabody Tanner fan, tune in tomorrow. I forget which time. I think it might be around 5:15 that the Peabody Tanner women's hockey team, they're 4-1 on the season currently, will take on visiting Newburyport, a team that has shocked many pundits so far this season. A first-year team composed mainly of former Masconomet Chieftain players, has beaten some of the better teams in the league, or has at least stayed competitive with some of the better teams in the NEC. They will come to McVan O'Keefe tomorrow. So tune into that game. It will be streamed live here on Peabody TV on our Facebook page, as the timeout is taken and both teams confer with their benches. See what Stan McKean has drawn up for the Tanners. His team has a 5-point lead, leading 7-2 in the early stages of this ever-important midseason game for the Tanners and the Falcons. Through middle of the court, long toss to the corner, puts it up for two. Misses the backboard entirely, but the Falcons retain possession. Shot clock at 12. Into the paint, stolen away by the Tanners. Bloom will move slowly through the middle of the court, gives over to Betancourt. Betancourt, the leading scorer of the game, with 5 points to her credit. Mendonca to Betancourt, and she has another three. It's 10-2. Taylor Betancourt, sophomore guard for the Tanners, having herself one heck of a night, and we're not even out of the first. Pass goes up. Whistle came before the shot got off, but in any event, it does go wide, and the score remains at 10-2. So I hope everyone is staying safe currently right now. Glad to hear that some of the stay-in requirements and restrictions have been lifted by the state of Massachusetts in recent days and in recent weeks, actually. A lot of sports have begun to implement new rules, new allowances, and one of the big ones is one parent per player is now being allowed here or 2 parents per players, I'm being shown here, are being allowed into the court to watch their daughters play. So that's a very big improvement now, a sign that things might be changing a little sooner rather than later. As this one went out of bounds, and it will be up to the Falcons to try to set up a play in their zone. 11 of the Falcons looking, takes her time, long cross-court pass into the paint, down and goes out of bounds. Whistle came before. 10-2 Tanners with 3:14 remaining in the first quarter of game number 4 for the Peabody Tanners. Ball goes out of bounds. Excuse me, I apologize if I did not mention before the game. Usually I always have to say my name before. My name is Bernard Parisi. You might know me as Bernie if you are watching at home, the voice of the Peabody Tanners women's hockey team for the past 4 seasons. 32 of the Tanners gives in. Betancourt. Betancourt having herself a heck of a night with just, I believe, 8 points on the night. Betancourt gives up high. Bloom for 3. Up over. Danvers keeps it in bounds. They look for a breakout play. Long toss ahead under the basket for 2, and nothing coming. But whistle is blown. We might have a free throw opportunity. And we will have a free throw chance for the Falcons to not tie the game, but at least try to close the gap a little bit with 2:50 to go in the first. 21 of the Falcons will take the shot. Puts it up, off the back of the rim and out. Make that number 20 of the Falcons. Puts it up. Rattling the inside of the rim and goes in. Scoreboard still showing 10-2, so maybe it did not count. But in any case, here comes Betancourt for the Tanners. Betancourt loses it for a second, gives over 32, puts it up for 3. Off the rim and out, but we get a whistle. 32 of the Tanners will have her first free throw chance of the night. Her time, puts it up. And will it go? Yes, it will. 11-2 Tanners. With a chance for yet another. Puts it up. Will not go. She'll have one more opportunity to potentially make this a 12-2 game. Betancourt waiting way behind the play. Puts it up. Comes out. Falcons take it away. Cross-court pass. They bring it through center court. Toss down court. And that was way too high for anyone to go up and get. Goes out of bounds, and it will be Tanner ball. So all players on their benches, socially distancing. They have extended the bleachers behind the benches so that all players can sit in different rows, 6 feet apart. 32 of the Tanners gives over Betancourt. Betancourt looking for Bloom. Bloom does take it off a tipped pass and puts it up, goes wide. And almost kept in play by Kira Copples, and it went out, her foot hit out of bounds as she let the pass in go. So 2:17 remaining in the first quarter, 11-2 Tanners. So ever since that scoring outburst by Taylor Betancourt, the Tanner offense has been, for the most part, neutralized, even though they have had a few air balls go up. Pass back to one of the Falcons. She looks. They're trying to spread out their guards and sends it in. 22 of the Falcons puts it up with 3 seconds remaining on the shot clock. It was missed, and taking a body down to the court was 22 of the Falcons. The whistle goes. And it will actually be Tanner's chance to set it up. Isabel Betancourt to Taylor Betancourt. Taylor Betancourt gives over. Emma Bloom, make that Isabel Betancourt. Betancourt back to now Isabel Bloom, taking a tumble down on the court. Nothing coming here. Betancourt to Betancourt. Betancourt to Bloom. Bloom looking, charging the paint, gives over to Betancourt, who gives inside to Lomasny. Lomasny to Kira Copples to put it up for 2. Can't do it. Still under the basket. Lomasny fighting for the ball, and Kira Copples takes a Falcon down to the parquet floor. Falcons taking their chances, taking their time, as opposed to the Tanners, who are a little bit more aggressive when they get in the paint. We are under a minute to go in the first quarter. Tanners leading 11-2, puts it up, and the Falcons make it 11-4. On the two-pointer, Taylor Betancourt Moving with Isabel Betancourt to her left. Taylor loses it, gives to Isabel, who puts it up for three off the back of the rim, comes back out, taking it is Emma Bloom. Bloom gives it, Taylor Betancourt for three, air ball goes wide. 33.7 remaining in the first quarter. Tanner's up 11-4, 3 fouls on the Falcons, 2 on the Tanners so far. 22 of Danvers. Taking her time, moving through the middle of the court over the midcourt logo. Gives deep into the paint. Would have come down inbounds on the keep-in, but 20 of Danvers' foot was out as she made the inbound pass. Isabel Betancourt to Taylor Betancourt. 3 Betancourts on this roster, folks, so there's going to be a lot of Betancourt to Betancourt calls tonight. Taylor gives inside to Kira Copples. Kira Copples off the feet of Bloom, but Bloom was able to take it in. We're under 4 seconds to go, trying to get one more shot off. 22 of the Falcons can't do it. Shot got off just after the buzzer went, but after one, Tanner's leading 11-4, 2 fouls for them and 3 on the Falcons. So far, player of the first quarter has been Taylor Betancourt with about 6 or 7 points to her credit. As we'll see what adjustments will be made in the first intermission between periods. We'll be right back in just a moment with more live game time coverage brought to you by Peabody TV.
DC Rental has been in business for almost 30 years, offering state-of-the-art radio communications and security camera systems. DC Rentals is able to cater our system, scale it down to any size event, large or small. Our custom-built trailers are designed for fast deployment with full video and communication capabilities. We offer top-of-the-line Motorola and Hytera dispatch and radio equipment, along with Telex and Zetron consoles. DC Rental's mobile command trailer is also available for special events or emergencies. In addition, we provide individual and group training sessions on all of our equipment, as well as 24-hour customer service. DC Rentals can be reached at 781-289-3000 or on the internet at dcrentals.net. DC Rentals is a proud sponsor of Peabody TV.
Welcome back to the field house at Peabody Veterans Memorial High School. After that brief break, Bernie Parisi here on the call for this NEC matchup between the Danvers Falcons and the Peabody Tanners, as the Falcons will have the first opportunity to play the ball in to begin the second quarter, with Peabody leading 11-4. Behind mostly the stellar play of Taylor Betancourt, who is on the court to start the second, putting it up for 2. Foot was on the line, would not go anyway. Taylor Betancourt bringing it quickly, long pass down the court to Isabel Betancourt, trying to put it into the paint. Was not in bounds. The player for Danvers who came down to play it, tip of her foot was out of play. So we have Isabel Betancourt, Taylor Betancourt, and Abigail Betancourt all on the court. Try saying that 3 times fast, folks. There will be a tongue twister. Kira Copples into the paint, and she puts it up for 2, 13-4. All the Betancourts on the roster on the court. Danvers bringing it into the paint, charging with a little bit of aggression. Can't put it up. The shot was off. Taylor Betancourt putting on the moves, bringing it through middle of the court. Charging the paint. Gives over to Isabel Betancourt. She fights for possession of the ball, and we have a scrum for it, and I believe it will be Danvers' ball. So you can see the 2 contrasting styles of play so far tonight between the Falcons and the Tanners. Tanners move with more of a fast break offense, a little bit more of a sense of urgency. The Falcons, as opposed, like to move with a little bit more slow and deliberate pace, find their opportunities. Abigail Betancourt charging into the paint, gives it back out, putting it up is Lomasny, can't put it through. And it will be Falcon ball on the out-of-bounds play. So this game being brought to you live by Peabody TV. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast at watching at home. During the unique times we live in, we are committed to trying to bring you as many games live as we possibly can. If you are unable to attend, Stolen away, Lamazny all alone to the basket, has someone bearing down behind. Lamazny for two, and it almost went, but it rattled out. Oh no, she had a bit of a chance to set up a big play. That was Lamazny, but she was unknowing to herself, out of bounds. Danvers, fast break in, tripped up. Here come the Tanners. Lamazny breaking for the basket, trying to put it up for two, and what a play by Lamazny. Taking a body as she put up the two-pointer. Falcons trying to charge the paint with a little bit more aggression now. 32 puts it up, and it was blocked by Lamazny, but falling down to the paint was the Falcons' number 32. That will be a foul on the Tanners. Third foul of the night. Now both teams are knotted up at 3 apiece in terms of fouls, but the Tanners are leading 15-4. See what McKean tries to draw up for his team, if he'll make any subs. Looks like he will keep this starting 5 out on the court of the Betancourts, Lamazny, and Kirakopoulos. And it will be 2 foul shots coming up. Puts it up. And it goes in for 1, so it is 15-5 as both teams will move into the circle, trying to pick up a potential rebound off of a missed shot. .32 of Danvers puts it up and went wide. Taylor Betancourt, nice footwork to keep herself in bounds and keep the ball in play. Here comes the other Betancourt, one of the 3, stolen away by the Falcons. Long toss ahead, trying to keep it in. What a keep-in by Isabel Betancourt. Here come the Tanners. Kirakopoulos looks, cross-court pass to Taylor Betancourt. Taylor Betancourt to Lamazny. Lamazny into the paint to Kirakopoulos. Kirakopoulos gives it outside to Abigail Betancourt. She looks, gives to Kirakopoulos, puts it up for 3. Lamazny came up short, and it will go out of bounds and will be Falcons ball. A little indecision between the officials as to whose ball it was. I believe one signaled one way, the other signaled the other. 5:28 remaining in the second quarter before halftime. Tanners leading 15-5. Coach of the Falcons shouting instructions to his players. 22 of Danvers to 11 of Danvers. She's in the paint, puts it up for 2, and it bounced off the back of the rim and out. Here comes Betancourt. She looks, gives to Taylor Betancourt. Taylor Betancourt, one leg, keeps it in bounds. Betancourt to Betancourt, Betancourt to Lamazny. Lamazny to Kirakopoulos, and put up for 3, and it went over the basket. That was Abigail Betancourt, freshman guard. Long pass, and speaking of Betancourt, she keeps it in, and we will get a whistle. I believe a foul on Danvers coming up. Yes, it will be their 4th foul of the game. Tanner's turn to set it up, and we will get a timeout. A 75-second timeout. So in comparison with the scoring that we saw in the first quarter, things have been relatively quiet. We saw 10 first quarter points for the Tanners, and they've only tallied 5 so far, as opposed to 3 first quarter points for the Falcons and only 2 so far this quarter. Can only wonder what goes on in those circles down there with the 2 respective head coaches. Stan McKean of the Peabody Tanners giving instructions to his players, trying to keep maybe the fast break offense going a little bit, because it has been working. They're keeping the Falcons on their toes, because Danvers likes to take their time moving the ball through the middle of the court, as opposed to the Tanners, who are using the fast break to their advantage. 25 seconds left on the timeout.
Somebody texted saying, hey, put my time here. I'll try talking to him. Yeah, no, I'm just letting you know.
So we are back in play. Betancourt looking, gives to Lamazny. Lamazny will, and we will have a foul coming up on the Falcons. I was just informed that having a little trouble hearing at home. It's all right. I am wearing a mask. That is more than likely the reason. I do apologize. We'll try to talk a little bit louder as the game goes on. Betancourt gives to Betancourt. Betancourt into the middle, trying to take it, but stolen away by the Falcons. They bring it through the middle of the court. And we will get a whistle on a foul on the Tanners. 5 fouls so far for Danvers, 4 on Peabody. 15-5 lead with 4:26 remaining in the first half. With 4:26 remaining in the half, you got to imagine that this is probably the time the Falcons want to really put on the accelerator, because they're down by a full 10 points as the first free throw goes wide. And she will get one more chance to at least make it possibly a 15-6 game. Puts it up and almost 15-6, but it will remain 15-5 as the clock is under 4.5 to go in the half. Betancourt taking her time, as opposed to the aggressive offense that the Tanners are used to. Betancourt to Betancourt. Betancourt into the paint for Lamazny. She gives the outside pass to Betancourt, puts it up, can't do it. Lamazny can't put it in. Kira Coppels battle for the ball. 32 of Danvers steals it away. Now the Falcons using behind the back play, trying to use a little bit more of their own version of a fast break offense. 3:55 to go. Kept in bounds, but barely by the Falcons. Putting it up for 2, went over the basket, and here comes Kira Coppels to Betancourt. Betancourt looks. It is Isabel Betancourt to Abigail Betancourt. We got a whistle and a stoppage. And Isabel Betancourt will set this one up. With 3:39 remaining, we get a substitution for Danvers. 32 checks out, 10 checks in. She's looking and taking her time, gives to Betancourt. Betancourt taking the three-point chance off the back of the rim. 3:30 to go. Kira Coppels trying to charge the net, taking the body, and it will not have counted anyway if it had gone in. But the defenses are really starting to take a hold here. 15-5 remain. It is 15-5 still with under 3.5 to go in the game in the first half. 6 fouls on the Falcons, 4 on the Tanners. Let's see what the Falcons can do to answer. Tanners so far, they are dominating their time in the paint. However, they just haven't been unable to convert that time into points so far as of late. Puts it up for 2, shot would not go. Stolen away, Kira Coppels, and whistle and a stoppage again. And it will be Tanner ball. 3:03 remaining in the second quarter. And I believe we get a Danvers timeout. And both teams will go to the benches to draw up a strategy, as the defenses have been keeping them in it. However, the offenses have been able to find ways to break through, just been unable to convert those breakthroughs into points. As 60 seconds remaining on the timeout. So just a reminder, if you are a Peabody High sports fan, don't forget to tune in tomorrow, as the Peabody women's hockey team here at McVan O'Keefe Arena will take on Newburyport, their first year as a team in Newburyport, finally fielding a women's hockey team. Your Peabody Tanners are 4-1 on the season, coming off of a 3-1 win, a comeback win versus the Medford Malden Mustangs here at McVan O'Keefe. Behind the efforts of Chloe Shapley, Jen Flynn, and Katie Campersall, the Tanners were able to come back from down 1-0 after one period. Second time in 3 tilts between the Tanners and the Mustangs that they have come from behind to win the game on 3 consecutive goals. Very glad to see that so many parents have been able to attend tonight's game, as new rules allow 2 parents per player to come into the games, as opposed to at the beginning of the season. I believe the rule might have been 1 parent per senior. There are only 3 seniors on the Tanners roster, so it's very good to see that some more fans are being allowed in to watch their daughters play. As here come the Falcons looking. Toss over. 22 of Danvers looking for a pass. Cross court to 11. 22 and 11 of the Falcons have been 2 of the big catalysts for the Falcons in the game. But here comes Taylor Betancourt. Betancourt moving through serpentine route through the middle of the court, putting it up for 3. Would not go. Under the basket for 2. Will it count? Emma Bloom got the 2-pointer. And it will count. It is 17-5 Tanners. Emma Bloom with a 2-pointer. And to the free throw line, I believe it will be it looks like they're setting it up. It's going to be a free throw chance. With 2:35 remaining in the second quarter. And it will be Amber Kiriakopoulos for a pair of free throw tries. It is 17-5 Tanners. Everyone holds their breath. Off the front of the rim and in. So it is 18-5. Kiriakopoulos is 1 for 1 on this free throw set. The second try misses, but Kiriakopoulos takes her own rebound. She takes it in, puts it up for 2, and Kiriakopoulos with another 2. So it's 20-5. Makes up for her second missed free throw. And the Falcons will move once again using their trademark slow, patient play, down by 15, but stolen away by Taylor Betancourt, but regathered by the Falcons. Into the paint, puts it up for 2, goes up and over and wide. 10 of the Falcons retakes it. Long pass, almost goes over her head and have to put it up for 2. Can't do it. Emma Bloom looked to take it out, but we got a whistle and a stop with 1:58 remaining in the second quarter. As it will be a substitution. I believe an injury substitution. I think Betancourt may have come down wrong on one of her knees because she is limping to the bench. That is number 11, Taylor Betancourt. We hope she is all right, and she will be back in the game. And it looks like it's going to be Gina Terrazzano checks in for her. Terrazzano and Mendonca are in. Stolen away by the Falcons, and they move into the paint. Big blow for the Tanners if they can't get Betancourt back into the game. We got a whistle and a stoppage. She is being attended to by one of the trainers currently on the bench. In basketball, what is the first thing that usually goes is the knee. So we hope that is just maybe just a muscle cramp. As Bloom gives in to Abigail Betancourt. Betancourt gives back out to Kayla Bonfanti, or excuse me, make that number 32 of the Tanners. In halftime, I will figure out who number 32 is. And if you do know who number 32 is actually at home, feel free to tell Mr. Bob Boo, the athletic director here at Peabody High School, who, and he will inform me. He was the one who informed me that we were having, that some of you at home were having trouble hearing me. Hopefully, if you are still having trouble, let him know. He'll inform me. We think it was just the fact that I'm wearing a mask right now, so it might be sounding a little muffled, so I do apologize for any inconvenience. 20-5 is 1:03 left. 7 fouls so far for the Falcons, 5 on the Tanners. 11 of Danvers will set this one up first. It's 11 and 22 of the Falcons that have been the 2 key components so far, but they only have 5 points to show for it at the moment. I think what I'm noticing between the difference between the Tanners and the Falcons, not necessarily besides the style of play, it's really the size of the players. The Tanners have a bit of a distinct height advantage over some of the Falcons. Scrum for the ball, and we get a whistle stop. 45 seconds left in the quarter. Emma Bloom will set it up. Bloom over to Abigail Betancourt. Bringing it in, long toss across the court by Gina Terrazzano. Could not connect as it was blocked down by the Falcons, and here comes 22 of Danvers yet again. 30 seconds to go in the quarter. Gives over, looking. Into the paint comes 11. We got a whistle and a stop, and I believe it will be a foul on the Falcons. It will be the 8th foul of the game. And the Danvers coach not happy about that one. Not necessarily not happy with the refs, but it doesn't look like he was very happy with his players on that one. 20 seconds left. Betancourt to Terrazzano. Terrazzano to Bloom. Bloom fakes the pass to Betancourt, but stolen away by 2 of Danvers. She moves quickly into the paint, trying to re-corral it. Can't put it up! Blocked down by the Tanners. What a defensive play by 4 in white, I believe it was Terrazzano. 7.1 to go in the second quarter. Tanners trying to hold on for 5 more seconds. Blocked down by Betancourt with 1.7 to go. 20-5 Tanner lead. 6 fouls on the Tanners, 8 on Danvers. .7 once the inbound pass comes in, puts it up for a desperation 2 and can't do it. Tanners end the first half up 20-5 as we'll be back in just a few moments. We're seeing down on the bench is Taylor Betancourt. She is getting her knee iced. Hopefully she will be back at some point during the game. However, with a 15-point lead and her teammates playing very tight defense, would not be surprised if maybe they decide to give her a bit of the night off. But in any case, end of the first half, score Tanners 20, Danvers 5. I'll try to get the name of number 32 of the Tanners in the intermission. And we'll be right back with more live game time coverage brought to you by Peabody TV.
DC Rentals has been in business for almost 30 years, offering state-of-the-art radio communications and security camera systems. DC Rentals is able to cater our system, scale it down to any size event, large or small. Our custom-built trailers are designed for fast deployment with full video and communication capabilities. We offer top-of-the-line Motorola and Hytera dispatch and radio equipment, along with Telex and Zetron consoles. DC Rentals Mobile Command Trailer is also available for special events or emergency. In addition, we provide individual and group training sessions on all of our equipment, as well as 24-hour customer service. DC Rentals can be reached at 781-289-3000 or on the internet at dcrentals.net. DC Rentals is a proud sponsor of Peabody TV.
Welcome back from the intermission break. Back once again on the call, Bernie Parisi of Peabody TV. Tanners leading 20-5 as we enter the second half of the game. And do have some good news. Do have a confirmation on who number 32 of the Tanners is. Being told by the AD that it is Asia Alamonte. Did not have her jersey on her, so she is wearing number 32 for the night as opposed to a regular number 2. Senior forward for the Tanners has seen a lot of playing time tonight. However, the star of the game so far has been Taylor Betancourt, number 11, who checked out of the first half of the game late in the second quarter with looked like a knee injury. She was expected to start the second half. However, she appears to still be on the bench, so we'll try to get an update on her in between the third and fourth quarters. Falcons will take their first turn to set it up. Alamonte shadowing 11 of Danvers. 1 of Danvers puts it up for 3. Bounced off the back of the rim. 10 of the Falcons takes it away again. Can she keep it in bounds? No, she can't. Let's see what the Tanners decide to do. Alamonte will fake one side, pass in. Lauren Mendonca, stolen away by 11 of Danvers to the paint for 20 of the Falcons. It will not go, but we get a whistle and a foul on the Tanners. So in the first half, Falcons had 8 fouls and the Tanners had 6. But Peabody still leading. 20-5 after the free throw goes wide. I know I keep getting quiet as the free throws go up, as if they can hear me all the way down the court. I don't want to throw anyone off. 20-5 lead. Second attempt is good, so it is 20-6 Tanners. Falcons looking for anything they can do to try to close the lead. Bloom takes the inbound pass from Alamonte, who gives it right back to Alamonte. Blocked on the pass to Copples, blocked down by the Falcons, and their defense is really starting to form a bit of a wall near midcourt. Kind of a defense-first strategy to begin the quarter. This game is far from over, ladies and gentlemen. We still have 7:22 left in the third quarter. We'll have a full 8-minute fourth quarter after this. Tanners, I believe, from what I understand, are 3-0 on the season. We don't have a roster or record for Danvers. But this is an important game morale-wise for both teams, as they are longtime rivals in not just basketball, but also on the hockey rink, also on the football field, and on the baseball diamond, of course. I believe one of my favorite games that I actually attended during my 4 years so far here at Peabody TV. I was the sideline reporter for a football game last year between the Peabody Tanners and the Danvers Falcons. Came down to a last-second potential field goal try by the Tanners that would not go. It was a very tight defensive ground and pound game. Have seen some Danvers versus Peabody hockey games in recent years. Also during my 4 years here at Peabody Veterans Memorial High School. Kira Copples outside the paint to Alamonte's air ball goes up and over. Danvers will let this one trail out of bounds just so that they can get automatic possession. So with 6:37 remaining in the third quarter, 2 fouls on the Tanners thus far in this half. 10 of the Falcons, gives over to 11 of Danvers, puts it up for 3, and it bounced off the rim and out. Trying to keep it in the paint to put it up for a prospective 2, and will not do it. So the 2 players whose numbers I've called for the Falcons a lot tonight are 11 and 22. We do see 11 out on the court. 22 has taken a seat for at least the time being. Danvers number 1 gives outside to 10 of the Falcons. We got a whistle. And it will be Tanner ball. High pass in to Mendonca. Mendonca over to Alamonte. Alamonte, what a move behind the back to deke out the defense. Abigail Betancourt gives over to Alamonte. Alamonte's pass to Mendonca is tipped. We see Bloom, Abigail Betancourt, Asia Alamonte, Lauren Mendonca, and Amber Kirakoppels out on the court for the Tanners. 2, 10, 1, 20, and 12 are on. Actually, make the check that. 12 and 4 of the Falcons check in. Betancourt taking her time. Bloom flanking her to her left. Alamonte, Mendonca, and Kirakoppels in the paint. Alamonte moves back outside the circle. Mendonca in the paint. Gives back to Betancourt, who puts up the 2-pointer. Can't do it. Fast break. Here comes the Falcons. What a full head of steam through the crease. And it goes up for 2. Through 2 defenders for the Tanners. She split the D. So stolen away by the Falcons. Trying to put it up for 2. Blocked down by the Tanners. They race quickly. Here comes Betancourt. Kira Copples in the paint. Holds up. Puts it up for 2. Misses. Mendonca for 2. And she's got her first points of the night. 22-8. Tanners leading. 2 of the Falcons taking her time. Squaring off with Abigail Betancourt. Bounce pass inside. 20 of the Falcons stolen away. Kira Copples to Betancourt. Alamonte. Alamonte looking, charging into the paint. Puts it up for 2 off the rim. Alamonte to Bloom. Bloom gives back to Betancourt. Betancourt to the outside. Bloom. Bloom to Mendonca for 2 and will not go. Rolled off the rim. Rolled off the rim and out. 4:41 remaining in the third quarter. Tanners leading 22-8. 2 fouls on the half for the Tanners, 1 for the Falcons. Here comes the Falcons. Trying to get through. They finesse their way or body their way into the paint. Here come the Tanners. Kirakoppel's in the paint, puts it up, and we get a whistle. Tanners will take their free throw chance. Off the front of the rim, back of the rim, and in. Amber Kirakoppels on the free throw try. It's 23-8. Officials making sure all their players are lining up outside the paint. Puts it up off the back of the rim, taken. Lomasny up for 2, and Lomasny makes it 25-8. We got a timeout on Danvers. 4:04 remaining in the third quarter. 25-8, the Tanners are leading. 2 fouls so far on Peabody, 2 on Danvers. So we hope everyone at home is enjoying this live stream of tonight's NEC Tilt. Hopefully our audio problem has been fixed and you can all hear me clearly at home. Although personally, because I'm not very experienced announcing basketball, if you didn't hear me, that's perfectly all right with me, ladies and gentlemen. So it feels good to be back out again, out at some of the high school sports, seeing the things, if not returning to a full sense of normalcy, a little bit of a reprieve from all the stress of the current world we live in at the moment. Obviously, that goes without saying regarding the current health issues throughout the entire world, not just the U.S., but we hope that watching this game live from your home will give you a little bit of a chance to relax and kind of enjoy yourselves again. So the Tanners 5 is Bloom, Abigail Betancourt, Logan Lomasny, Emma Bloom, and Isabel Betancourt, along with Amber Kirakoppels in the paint. But the Falcons will take their turn setting it up. 20 of Danvers looks. Was thinking about giving it over to 2 of the Falcons. Puts it up for 3. It will not go. Tanners with Lomasny breaking hard to the basket. Puts it up for 2. Went off the bottom of the backboard. 10 of the Falcons loses control of her own dribble. Gives over to 2 of the Falcons. 3:30 remaining in the third quarter. Tanners have put up 10 points since the beginning of the third quarter. Same number they put up in the first quarter. Oh, and the three-point chance rattles the inside of the rim and will not go. Betancourt charging hard to the basket. It will not go. But the official's whistle blows. We will get a foul on the Falcons, and Abigail Betancourt to the free throw line. Quick shot, little hesitation, and she puts it in. It's 26-8. She'll have one more chance to put it up. Puts it up and swish right on in. 27-8, 2 perfect free throws for Abigail Betancourt. Never even touched the rim. Twelve of the Falcons outside the circle, looking to give it on over. 32-2. Falcons charging into the paint. 7 seconds remaining on the shot clock, and we got a whistle. And it looks like it will be Tanner ball. Will be Tanner's ball. Emma Bloom, number 21, the junior. Nope, she checks out, and Kayla Bonfanti is in. As Bonfanti will take her spot. Bloom will remain out. Or, excuse me, Bloom did check out. Down low into the paint, goes 10 of the Falcons, puts it up. No whistle coming, we get a scrum for the ball. So currently on the court is Lamazni, Isabel Betancourt, Janelle Batzel. Yeah, I told you in the pregame there was at least 1 or 2 names that I was likely going to get wrong. I think that was one of them, so if someone wants to give me the correct pronunciation of that, that would be very much appreciated. I do apologize for any incorrect pronunciations, as the Falcons will send this one in. 10 of Danvers is shadowed by Bonfanti. She gives over to 32 of the Falcons. Back to 12. 12 fakes the 3, charges into the crease, or into the paint. Stolen away. Here come the Tanners, taking her down from behind, and we didn't get a whistle till the ball went out of bounds. No foul coming up. Whistle, and we got a buzzer. I believe a timeout will be taken. Trying to get a so with 2:11 remaining in the third quarter, we will try to get a status update on Taylor Betancourt in the intermission. However, we can presume that with her having sat on the bench for the entire third quarter so far, that her night is over. She was the catalyst in the first half, accounted for more than half of the Tanners' points throughout that first half. This had 15 first half points. She may have had, I think, 7 or 8 of them. So we got a whistle and a stop. 1:51 remaining. So she's still icing that appears to be her right knee. I'm sure if it was a much more serious injury, she probably would be already have left the field house. So hopefully it's just a maybe just a knee tweak, or maybe just a muscle pull or a cramp. Puts it up, Bonfanti for 3, and it won't go. Charging in, Betancourt trying to put it up for 2, almost went. 3-person scrum for the ball. Tanners came out with it, but the whistle blew already. Isabel Betancourt and Kayla Bonfanti were in on the scrum. Janelle Batesel is on the court. Number 13 of the Tanners, junior forward. Kayla Bonfanti will set this one up. Gives over to Abigail Betancourt. She gives inside to Lamazni. Lamazni, inside play, puts it up for 2. Will it count? We have a Falcon down on the court. It is number 11, one of the stars so far tonight. So it appears the basket will not count, as it's 27-8. .120 remaining in the third quarter. In game number 4 for the Tanners, who are currently undefeated, 3-0. Batesel trying to get the inbound pass, won't take it. Here come the Falcons, moving quickly, trying to cross-court pass, kept in play, stolen away by the Falcons. They move back outside the 3-point line to try to recoil and kind of regroup a little bit. 12 of Danvers puts it up for 3 off the outside of the rim. Whistle after a scrum for the ball. Whistle on a stop, as 46.5, make that 48.5 left on the clock in the third quarter. barring a Herculean effort and a Herculean comeback, the Falcons are down by 19 points currently. We got a timeout taken, I believe, by Danvers, taking their second timeout of the half. So we hope if you have stayed with us throughout the 2 live streams we've done so far from the Fieldhouse tonight, I hope you enjoyed the Tanner's junior varsity squad beating the Danvers Falcons 46 to, I believe it was 13, the final score. And so far that success has translated over to the varsity teams as the Tanners are leading 27-8. Looking to, at this point, this late in the third quarter, you can think that at the beginning of the fourth, will they try to build on their lead, or will they maybe try to drop back and play defense a little bit more and just kind of play for the final buzzer? 28 seconds left to go on the timeout. Brought to you live by Peabody TV. I'm Bernie Parisi, also the voice of the Peabody Tanner women's hockey team. Or should I say self-proclaimed. I have, it's been the team I've worked predominantly with over the past 4 years since my senior year of high school here at Peabody Veterans Memorial High. 48.5 to go in the quarter. Tanner's ball, long toss down the court, but covered by 12 of the Falcons was Abigail Betancourt. 10 of the Falcons gives to 12. 12 looking, shadowed by Betancourt. Number 11 of the Falcons back after taking a bit of a tumble earlier in the quarter. Looking, trying to maybe go for a three-point try. This is the point where you got to start taking those high-risk three-pointers off the inside of the rim and bounces out. 18 seconds to go. Lamasny to Betancourt. Bonfanti is still out on the court, creating some space for Betancourt. Batesel, the last player to touch it. We get a whistle. 6 fouls called so far, or make that now 7 fouls called on the Falcons so far this quarter, 2 for the Tanners. So they've already almost equaled their total number of fouls that they had in the entire first half. They had 8 in the first half. They already have 7. We're not even out of the third quarter. To the foul line goes Batesel, 13. Comes up short of the basket. That would be her only free throw try. 8.3 left. Maybe a long cross-court pass and maybe try to set up a three-pointer rather than charge the net. And no, she will. Nope, sets it up outside, looking. Tipped by Betancourt. That'll send us to the fourth quarter. Defense of Isabel Betancourt, number 31, prevented a potential 2-pointer that would have made it a 27-10 game. But in the interim, Tanner's leading 27-8, 7 fouls on the quarter for the Falcons and 2 for the Tanners. So we'll be back in just a moment with live coverage of this ever-important NEC matchup, rivalry game between the Tanners and the Falcons. I'm Bernie Parisi with Peabody TV, and we'll see you in just a moment.
DC Rental has been in business for almost 30 years, offering state-of-the-art radio communications and security camera systems. DC Rentals is able to cater our system, scale it down to any size event, large or small. Our custom-built trailers are designed for fast deployment with full video and communication capabilities. We offer top-of-the-line Motorola and Hytera dispatch and radio equipment, along with Telex and Zetron consoles. DC Rentals mobile command trailer is also available for special events or emergency. In addition, we provide individual and group training sessions on all of our equipment, as well as 24-hour customer service. DC Rentals can be reached at 781-289-3000 or on the internet at dcrentals.net. DC Rentals is a proud sponsor of Peabody TV.
Welcome back to the Fieldhouse at Peabody Veterans Memorial High School after that brief intermission. Final quarter is about to be underway. Tanners leading 27-8 over their rival, the Danvers Falcons. So far in the half, Falcons 7 fouls, Tanners 2. 15 fouls overall on the night for the Falcons, 8 for the Tanners. 2 of Danvers will take this one out, trying to close the gap and barring a monumental comeback effort, Tanners look like they might have an easy win in hand. 3-point try for 12 goes up high and over the net, over the basket. And it will be Tanner ball, I believe. 7:45 remaining in the final quarter. Hard to pick a player of the game so far tonight. If she had played the entire game, first half, at least player of the first half was Taylor Betancourt. She had most of the Tanners' first half points. They had 15 overall in the first half. She accumulated almost maybe just about half of them. Puts it up for 2, and the Falcons have reached 10, so it is 27-10. Long pass, Kira Coppels down the court to Mendonca, who has it tipped away by 12 of the Falcons. 2 of Danvers racing through into the paint, gives outside, puts it up for 3. Air ball goes wide and out of bounds. It will be Tanner ball. Asia Alamonte gives inside to Mendonca. Mendonca's pass to Abigail Betancourt. Into the paint, Kira Coppels under the basket. Fakes, puts it up for 2, can't do it. Mendonca with the rebound chance, and she makes it 29-10. Two of the Falcons. Danvers, we got a whistle, and it will be Tanner ball. So just a couple updates from around the MIA in various sports. I believe the MIA was meeting recently to discuss potential playoff format for the Fall 2 season, and specifically regarding the football season, which will commence sometime after February 22nd, which I believe is the anticipated end date for winter sports. As in winter sports, there is no set MIA playoff format. However, I believe respective conferences are allowed to have their own interconference tournaments if they do so please. And also on the hockey landscape, specifically for Peabody fans in the NEC, the Tanners women's hockey team are 4-1. I believe the boys are still yet to win a game. They do have a tie on the season. Trying to keep her feet in bounds, tiptoeing the sideline, and she stays in bounds. 2 of the Falcons has become one of the breakout players who's really taken on the load of the passing and ball-moving responsibility for the Falcons so far in the second half. Betancourt puts up the alley-oop 2, and it will not go. 6:05 remaining. We'll get back to updates from around the MIA in just a few moments after the next whistle. Alamonte gives in to Kira Coppels. Kira Coppels over to Abigail Betancourt. Abigail Betancourt to Emma Bloom. Bloom will look. Cross-court pass, Alamonte for 3. Off the outside of the rim, it will not go. And guess who? 2 of the Falcons bringing it quickly, charging the paint. And we got a whistle, and I believe it will be a foul on the Tanners. And it will be their 3rd foul of the period, or of the half. We'll get 2 free throw tries for number 2 of the Falcons. So don't have any updates currently on the status of the Danvers hockey teams. However, we do know that here, at least in the NEC, the Tanner boys yet to win a game. However, a lot of promise, even though they have a bit of a depleted roster this season. Christian Wright's bunch has a lot of optimism moving forward. And the Michelle Roach-led Peabody Tanners women's hockey team, 4-1, currently tops in the NEC over rival Winthrop, who are hot on their heels with 6 points as opposed to the Tanners' 8. 2 puts it up and in, so it's 29. Make that 29-11, so is 18-point deficit for the Falcons with 5:39 left in regulation. Asia Alamonte will give to Betancourt. Betancourt back to Alamonte. Betancourt and Alamonte, quite the chemistry on the court so far. Looks like one of Danvers may have been caught flat-footed and was caught off guard by one of the deeks of Betancourt. So she came up limping a little bit. She took a bit of a fall to the court and was moving rather gingerly getting up. She appears to be favoring that right leg. However, she is staying on the court, so she is a warrior, ladies and gentlemen. 5.5 to go in the quarter as Kira Koppels puts it up and free throw misses. So it's still 29-11, 8 fouls on Danvers, 3 on Peabody. Kira Koppels misses off to the left. Got a whistle and a stop, and it will be Danvers' ball. Tanner's maintaining an 18-point lead. 22 of the Falcons charging into the zone, and shot bounces off the rim. Kira Koppels behind the back play to Abigail Betancourt. Abigail Betancourt puts on the brakes, charges into the middle, gives over to Emma Bloom. Bloom far out from the three-point line. Gives back to Abigail Betancourt. Betancourt shadowed by 11, gives over to Alamonte. 8 seconds left on the shot clock. It goes tipped out of bounds. And it will be Danvers' ball. Alamonte pleading her case that should be Peabody ball. But unsuccessful in her pleas as 11 of Danvers is back with 22 to set it up. Inbound to 22. 4:50 remaining in the final quarter. Tanner is maintaining 29-11 lead. One of the Falcons still on the court after what appeared to be maybe a minor knee tweak. Looking, fakes inside, gives up the two-point try. Emma Bloom is able to corral the rebound on the failed attempt. Betancourt moving rather gingerly. They know they have an 18-point lead, so they're going to take their time now. So as opposed to the fast break offense that we were used to seeing throughout the first 3 quarters, McKean knows that his girls have a big lead that they can hopefully maintain in the final 4:17. So maybe a little bit of a class act, not trying to run up the score on his opponent too much. But the Falcons being resilient, they are, despite the 18-point deficit, they are still fighting. They're charging the paint very hard. They're not going without a fight, ladies and gentlemen. This is a team that, even when they're in a hole, ain't over till it's over on the two-pointer, and it is 29-13. Wise man once said, it ain't over till it's over. So with 3:59 to go, I have seen comebacks bigger than a 16-point comeback in such a short time span, ladies and gentlemen. So it's not entirely out of the cards yet. So after the two-pointer by 11, she'll have a chance to put this one up for a potential free throw to make it a 29-14 game potentially. Puts it up and off the back of the rim. Comes out, Tanner's regain. Kira Koppels to Bloom. Bloom over to Betancourt. Betancourt to Abigail Betancourt. That Betancourt to Betancourt combination has been on fire so far tonight. Trying to put up the 2, and I believe it's going to be a foul on Danvers. So to the free throw line, I believe, goes Emma Bloom. Goes up and off the back of the rim, so it will not go. Bloom puts it up. Got a whistle and a stop, so Bloom, I believe, will have one more chance as the ref blew the whistle on one of the Falcons who may have jumped a little prematurely, or might have been in the paint as Bloom put up the second free throw. See what she does with her redemption chance. Puts it up, and once again off the back of the rim, Kira Koppels takes the rebound, and she is frustrated with not maybe the officials, but maybe the fact that she had 2 or 3 Falcons draped on her while she was on the court. So we haven't seen any substitutions so far in the final quarter. Now it will be Isabel Betancourt to send it in. Problem is, all of her teammates are shadowed very tightly. Long high lob pass to Bloom. Bloom outside. Lamazny in the paint. Charging and taking a body down to the paint was 22 of the Falcons, and it will be a foul on the Tanners. So 17 fouls overall on the night. 8 in the first half, 9 on the second half for the Falcons to this point. And we have a total of 11 fouls on the Tanners, 5 in the second half, 6 in the first half. Thus far, 3:26 remaining in the game. Tanners maintaining their 29-13 lead. 11 of the Falcons gives over, almost blocked aside by Bloom. One long cross-court pass, 22 fakes inside, gives into the paint for one, puts it up for two. It's 29-15, 14-point game. Abigail Betancourt up to Bloom. I think what the problem is with the Falcons right now is putting it up for two, 31-15. Problem with the Falcons at the moment, that was Isabel Betancourt's two-pointer. Problem is, I think it looks like they're winded. It's not necessarily an injury that's really inhibiting number one of the Falcons at the moment. It looks like she's just winded. She's had a couple Tanners blow by her. And she's kind of bent over at her, grabbing her knees, trying to catch her breath. Yeah, it looks like we might have an injured Falcon down on the court, clutching her left shoulder. This will be an injury timeout, and it will be, it looks like, number 32 of Danvers. So we'll be back in just a moment once we see the player has left the court. So good to see 32 of the Falcons has walked off the court under her own power. Problem is, it looks like that left shoulder, that injury looks like the way she was coming off the court, she really was not able to move her left arm entirely. We hope that is just a minor tweak and maybe just landed awkwardly on that shoulder and just maybe a little bit of a shock to her body. So she is trying to stretch that shoulder, so it looks like it might just be a just a slight bruise in the morning. One of the Falcons puts it up for three. It hits the bottom of the backboard. And they're going to say Lamazney, I think, came down out of bounds. So with 2:26 remaining, Falcons will get the ball. 11 of Danvers to set this up. Down by 16 points, 31-15 Tanners. In the late stages of this NEC rivalry between Peabody and Danvers. On her knee pass inside. What a pass into the paint, putting it up for two, can't do it. Number 22 of the Falcons, she passes that ball with some aggression, ladies and gentlemen. Arguably one of the big catalysts for this team moving forward, and the kind of player that hopefully that the Falcons can build a little bit of a foundation around in the coming weeks. As the free throw from the Danvers player, number 20, goes up and is no good. Puts it up off the back of the rim and will not go, but 20 takes her own rebound, gives inside to one of the Falcons. She gives outside, looking for a potential three. She was in the paint. She was in the three-point line, so it will go for two, but it will not go through. So with 1:56 remaining, the score remains at 31 Tanners, 15 Falcons. Recent minute and a half or so, the Falcons have cleaned up the game a little bit. Stuck at 9 fouls on the half. Tanners, instead of playing a little conservative, they realize the Falcons aren't going to go without a fight, so they are playing a little bit more aggressive on offense. Betancourt gives inside to Betancourt. Betancourt under the basket outside. Lamazney back to Bloom. Bloom looking. Abigail Betancourt's three-point try goes up, bouncing, and comes out. Throwing her down to the court in the middle of a scrum was Isabel Betancourt. Will be a foul on the Tanners, 7th overall on the half, and the 13th overall on the evening. Currently out on the court for Peabody is Lamazney, Kira Copples, Emma Bloom, I believe Abigail Betancourt and Isabel Betancourt. So a free throw try for 11 of the Falcons. And does not go. They chase their own rebound. She puts up another one. Desperation heave will not go. And taking a tumble down. Oh, and it is getting heated, ladies and gentlemen, from the field house at Peabody Veterans Memorial High School. There's a reason this rivalry is so intense, ladies and gentlemen. It looks like 11 of Danvers kind of gave Betancourt really that the look of death right there. She really wanted to go after her, I'm sure, because she kind of got tossed down to the court. However, fouls remain at 10 for the Falcons, 7 for the Tanners, as a free throw chance coming up for Isabel Betancourt. Ooh, rattled the inside of the rim and would not go, so it's still 31-15. Second of 2 chances coming up with 1:22 left. Puts it up, will not go. Can the Tanners regather? They do. Taking a slap to the face. It looked like that will be the foul coming up on the Falcons. And no, there will be no foul coming up here on Danvers. Going by the scoreboard at the moment, that shows 10 so far on the half for Danvers, 7 for Peabody, 1:18 left, and it's going to be Isabel Betancourt back to the free throw line. The coach of Danvers is looking for an explanation or having a conversation between McKean and the Danvers coach. Can only imagine what that is going to be, as both teams will go over to their respective bench areas. Would not be surprised if the officials were kind of giving a bit of a warning to both coaches, because play here has become markedly more physical than we have seen it overall tonight. I don't want to say anyone's taking liberties with their opponent, but looks like some of the frustrations are beginning to boil over on not just Danvers' side, but Peabody's side, because it all takes one drop to spill over, and everything kind of snowballs. It takes one perceived hard hit, and then there will be the retaliation, and then from there on out, someone will retaliate to that retaliation, and so on and so forth. As the first free throw goes wide, Betancourt for her second chance. Puts it up, and it does go, so it's 32-15. So you'd hate to see a player get hurt in the final few minutes of a game that is pretty much in the bag at this point for at least one team. So as the two-pointer goes up, it's 32-17. We're exactly a minute left in regulation. Tip pass from Betancourt to Lamazny, but Lamazny was able to take, and Betancourt's foot may have been out of bounds as she played the ball. And we'll see who's, it looks like it's going to be number 1 of Danvers on the free throw line, 49.3 left. The way this looks like it'll be only a single free throw. Long pass to try to give it over to Bloom, but it will go wide and out of bounds. 44.4 left in regulation. Shout out to all the parents who have come to the game, and hopefully they will try to watch the stream afterward in the coming days when it will be uploaded in full online. Here comes the Tanners with 30 seconds to go, maybe just trying to burn off some of the shot clock. 14 seconds left on the shot clock, 21 left in the period. Up for 2, goes on through, so Kira Copples. Nine seconds left, so this will likely take us to the final buzzer. Shot goes up. Tanners will dribble out the clock, And from the field house at Peabody Veterans Memorial High School, Tanners take the win, 34-17. Valiant effort by the Falcons in the second half to try to come back. However, it just was not meant to be. So player of the game brought to you by Peabody TV. Well, folks, I usually try to pick one or two players at the end of every game that I can say really stood out. However, it really wasn't just one player that stood out for the Tanners. I have to say the entire team really came through tonight. I would have said it would have been Taylor Betancourt had she stayed in the game throughout the entirety of the night. However, when she went down, her entire team stepped up and rallied around her and rallied around the ball on the court. So the Tanners win 34-17. It was a full team effort. Amber Kira-Copples had a great night. Also, the Betancourts, Abigail, Isabel, and Taylor all had tremendous nights of their own. So until we see you again here at the Fieldhouse at Peabody Veterans Memorial High School, I'm Bernie Parisi. Game brought to you live by Peabody TV. Final score, once again, Tanners 34, Falcons 17.